All right, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all been doing well. I'm just so excited. Every time I go and I do a different project, I don't want it to become tepid. I don't want it to become dull and uninteresting, basically, is what I'm saying. I want it to remain fresh and new and exciting and fun. And sometimes, I do have to resort to doing the same projects I've done before, like a goblet or something, but maybe I can add something to it and make it very interesting and exciting and fun. I enjoy stuff like that. I enjoy being able to create new and interesting pieces of art. It just, we're filled with wonder, and if you become bored with the same thing all the time, it's just bland and uninteresting and not fun. So anyway, what I'm getting at is I'm making something different that I never thought of. What it was is, okay, Ollie, I want to make her something, and she loves music, and she can play music by ear, she said. So I can't remember if she said a guitar or the piano. I cannot remember, and I apologize, Ollie. I deeply apologize. Sometimes, I have so many things pulling me in different directions. I'm so busy having to do things all the time. So, and then I have my time with my wood turning. So anyway, regardless, she loves music. And so I typed in about what can I wood turn that would be a wonderful gift to a friend online that loves music. So one of the things they came up with, it was a speaker amplifier. And I thought, I've never heard of such a thing. I had to look it up, and I saw pictures of it, and I thought that'd be cute. That should be something fun to do and, not real complicated. So anyway, I have some cedar wood. It is not the red cedar this time. It does have some cracks in it, but I think we can work past that. I need to get some more Loctite glue because I used it up for the most part on that birdhouse. That birdhouse just kept acting up and throwing temper tantrums and stuff. So I had to really work on them cracks. I would get some wood powder dust, and I'd fill in the crack with the Loctite, and then later on it would crack in the same place again. So it expanded out. So anyway, what I want to do, we'll take care of the crack. So what I want to do, it said the measurements need to be about 5 to 8 inches long and about 4 to 6 inches wide. So we'll make what would be an amplifier speaker, I reckon you could say. That is, what you do is you have a slot in the back side of it after you've opened it up, and it be shaped kind of like a bell. So it forms as an amplifier. When you put that slot in the back side of it, I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'll reach that when I cross that bridge. So anyway, you put your cell phone in there, and it'll play through the amplified quote-unquote speaker, so it would bring the sound out a little better. So she could use it for fun if she wanted to. She doesn't have to, but she could use it for fun if she's outside, sitting down, listening to her phone, and maybe she wants to set it down for music, and she can put it in there. And I just thought that would be fun and cool to do. So that's what we're going to try to make. And we're going to use the cedar wood. I could use other things like oak or something. Oak is kind of expensive. I had to put some boards together to do that, because the oak that I have been given is green. So it's going to take several months for that to dry out. So I figured I'd just use some cedar wood. And that's what we'll do with that, it's not going to be... I'd love to use some of the red cedar, but the red cedar I have is either a little bit too small. Well, I see a chunk I'm eyeing that I might use that has red in it. However, I don't know that I would get down to it to expose the red in the cedar because it has white around it. So anyway, regardless, that's what we're going to do. And if I don't use this piece, I might use something else. I'll look around just a little longer because I usually like to use that red cedar. And if not, we'll just use this right here. And this is beautiful. Cedar's beautiful wood. Okay, and I hope y'all enjoy this video. And I hope y'all are smiling out there because I'm smiling. And I love to share smiles with you. Thank you so much for blessing me and for coming to my channel. Thank you for all the new people who come by. And even if you don't join my channel, or even if you don't give me a thumbs up, that's fine. I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to tell you to. I know people want to do that, and that's fine. That's their prerogative. They can do that. I just feel like, I just believe that if you want to give me a thumbs up, you'll do it, okay, on your own initiative. So thank you for coming by and watching my videos, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, and we'll see you when I get ready to shape this. All right. All right, so I went ahead and I decided to get this small piece instead of the other one. I had to cut some stuff off of it, cut it down a little bit, have enough room for a little bit of a tenon so I can form it and then go from there. So I'm going to do it 8 inches long. That'd be about from here to here. So anyway, I'm going to rough it out. I have to have certain measurements. I looked it up and I wrote it all down, and the paper's blowing all over the place with the wind. So anyway, I have to go by certain measurements also. I really didn't think so. I thought I could just form it. That's the same thing with the birdhouse. You can't just... Oh, well, you could if you want to, but it wouldn't be practical because then you wouldn't really be able to use it in real life, right? So you want something that you can actually use. I mean, not just something that you would turn and it looks great aesthetically, and that's not practical. So anyway, we want to make it so that you can use it, to actually really use it, and it really does function properly. Okay, I'm going to rough it out, put it on spur drive so I can rough it out. Well, not really rough it out on the spur drive, but form a tenon. I need to form a tenon so I can put it on the chuck jaws so that I can have it held firmly. Then I can rough it out. All right, and I'll be back with you. Alright, I have it roughed out some. I was thinking it had to be 6 inches across or 5 inches across. It does not have to be, well, it can be, let's see, it says diameter 4.5 to 5.5 over here. The back end, which is called the butt. The butt. It reminds me of Finding Nemo. The butt. That's a funny, cute little show. Anyway, we need to, I tried to make it round as I could. This thing was running pretty wild and rough. And those knots, I kept getting some catches with the bowl gouge on the not the bowl gouge, the roughing gouge with the knots some. I had it at the lowest speed because it was wobbling and, you know, making my lathe shake. So I had to turn it at the lowest speed, and then I was able to turn up a little bit and try to get it on roughed out some. So I got that. It's got some cracks a little bit. I have to work on a little bit, but the red cedar is coming through some, and that's beautiful. So what I need to do, let's see, I need to measure a length of 6 to 8 inches. I'm thinking on making it 8 inches. The back end has to be 1 inch from the end of it, 1 inch to where I open it up. In other words, it needs 1 inch of solid wood from the end on the inside to where I open it up. I reckon that has to do with helping the sound bounce off the back. It's quite interesting, some of the measurements that you have to follow to get it to be, you know, get it to perform properly. I'll get the Forstner bit to start opening it up some. I'm going to mark it. It needs to be 6 to 8 inches. We're going to do 8 inches. What do you think? That would be right here. So let's go ahead. There's a pencil. I'll mark it right there. Where in the world? I just need to mark it. That's all I need to do. I don't care where that's sitting. Okay. From there to there is 8 inches long. This right here wood will be taken off. We need 1 inch from here to here. Not on the outside, on the inside. So what I'll do, I don't reckon it matters to mark that right now. Okay, let me see about getting a Forstner bit on here and opening up. I'll be back.
Barracuda.
You know, I ought to go, well, I got to go to Lowe's anyway and get some more Loctite glue. Oh, I ought to get a bigger Forstner bit. What do you think? It starts costing a lot of money, though. They start really up in the price. And this one's dull. Doesn't mean I can't sharpen it. It's not a very big hole, is it? Oh, God, that smoke. That scent of the cedar wood and the aroma of the oils and stuff started to go up my nose. Whew, stuff's strong. It's not a sweet smelling aroma like the fat wood, though. That fat wood's beautiful stuff. This right here, I like it. It's pretty, but I don't like it near as much as fat wood. Okay, I'll be back. I think I'm going to stop and go to the store. All right. Sorry, I was eating some yogurt here. I love yogurt. I usually get the sugar-free because I don't want it to mess with my teeth and all. I got this. I got this. Look at here. Let me get this out of here. Dadgum. I got this Forstner bit. I got this big Forstner bit. I don't even know what size it is. It is much bigger than the other one. I wanted to get the real big one. But that thing was like almost 80 bucks. I'm like, golly. No, I don't want to spend quite that much. But I did spend a little pretty penny on this thing. It's like 50-something dollars. This was not cheap. And I hope it'd be okay on the lathe. But it's going to make a bigger hole. I don't want to sit here riding the bevel for hours. That'll wear me out. You got to cut all that wood away on the inside. And then I got a sore neck last time. No, I don't want all that. I like to enjoy my ride. I like to enjoy when I'm opening things up. So anyway, I just want to show you that. Let's try it out. Let's see how it works. See how well it does. Look at that. Let me put that video camera on the back of the tailstock here, and you have the front seat view like you're sitting at the movie theater, eating your popcorn and watching your favorite movie. I'm not saying this is your favorite movie, I'm just saying it'd be nice to have a good view, huh? Yeah. This thing cuts good. This is cutting like butter. I wonder if I should try to open it all the way up right now, though. I need to shape the outside. So what I think I'll do is I'll stop, shape the outside some to form what looks like a bell shape. Let's do that. So this works very well, and it's good and sharp. So I just wanted to show you the bit. Well, not the bit, the Forstner bit. You know what I'm talking about. Isn't that beautiful? Boy, I wish I had that when I opened up that birdhouse. It would have made life just a little bit easier. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I had to turn my music off. I listen to music a lot when I'm wood turning. A lot of times, most of the time. See, I was listening to some old rock and roll and stuff. Let's see. Let me see how wide this is. Okay. It's right at the length it needs to be for the outside of the bell shape of it. Then I need to slope it in some. And stuff like that. Let's get this camera right. This camera ain't right. Y'all need to be able to see what I see, right? You gotta look through my eyes. Let's see. Okay, I want to need a picture, so I'll be back. Need to look at a picture. Okay, all I'm doing right now, dadgum, I forgot about, mosquitoes start coming out when it warms up. Darn. That's not fun. Bloodsuckers. Let's see. Talking about mosquitoes, when we lived in Panama in Central America, you talking about some mosquitoes. Man, them things will get you. And they get big ones, and they get you in places you don't think they're going to get you. They'll get you in your private areas. They'll get you everywhere. You got to be careful with them things. And plus, they got, yellow fever down there and stuff. You have to have shots and stuff before you move to certain countries, immunizations, and so you don't get yellow fever and die or something, so anyway, I don't know why I'm telling y'all that. I reckon I like to share stories of things, because Panama, I have some vivid, wonderful memories of Panama. I was getting a little bit older a little bit, and I very much remember Panama. They got vines down there, big vines. You can cut them and swing on them and stuff. They got monkeys down there. I remember one time when me and my brothers were collecting butterflies, we went to a section, and there was some monkeys in this tree. So we went over to the tree, and they started picking branches and stuff off the tree they were up in and started throwing them at us because that was their territory. They didn't want us around. They were trying to make us go away. It was so funny. It was hilarious. And I remember one time it was, the whole family, and we were there. Now, they used to train troops down there in the jungles in Panama from America. U.S. used to go down there and train troops in the jungles, and so there was a lot of paths and stuff that had already been cut out, and buildings and stuff in the jungle where they used to have stuff that they don't use any longer, and a lot of the foliage and stuff is growing up in the jungle, so it's just an interesting area. So, anyway, when I was younger and we did live there, I would run ahead of everybody and go down this path. And, I just didn't want to stay with everybody, I reckon. So I ran down the path ahead of my family, and all of a sudden I hear this strange sound. I go, woo! Sound like a monster. I thought this monster was after me, and I come running right back up the hill. It was so hilarious. My dad was laughing at me because he knew immediately what it was. It was a howler monkey. This howler monkey make this gosh awful monster type sound. And so he thought it was so funny. I come running right back up that hill. I thought something was gonna get me. So I imagine it was hilarious. Let's use this. So anyway, let's get back to this wood turning, right? It's funny stuff in life. It's funny how you remember certain things in life, right? If I ever have grandchildren, that's what I want a lot. I really do. I want grandchildren. And I can share all these wonderful stories with them. Yeah? It's awesome. Now I can hold them in my arms and spoil them. We need to shape this for the most part until we get to the back end. It looks like about 3/4 of the way to the back end of it. And this right here is going to be removed, so it probably is a waste of glue and time and effort to glue that right now. So I don't know what I think I'm doing. I reckon I get to talking and I'm not thinking about what I'm doing. And you know what? I talk a lot when I'm happy, so sorry about that. That last video, I talked way too much, didn't I? No wonder it was so long. I like to turn the wood more than I like to talk. It's more enjoyable and mesmerizing. I talked to a lady the other day. I saw this lady, and she does art and stuff. She had one of these little things at her door. It looked like a chalkboard, and you draw permanent art on there, or put a saying on there like "Have a wonderful day" or something, or Easter or something. So anyway, I asked her, I said, "Did you do this?" She said she did. And I said, "Oh, that's awesome. That is beautiful." And I told her, I said, "I'm artistic and I do wood turning." She said, "I love wood turning." She said she's seen it on TikTok. And she said it's so mesmerizing. And I said, "Yeah, it is." And you just can't look away after you you start watching videos, and it's like you just can't turn away and stop looking at it. It's really amazing. Really cool stuff. Especially when the person knows what they're doing and they got a great video out and they're cutting everything and shaping everything pretty quickly. Now me, I take longer, so I just don't know. Anyway, right, what I think I had to be able to turn it up some with the speed because it was popping. So what I need to do is measure the back end to make sure 3 to 3.5 inches, or 3 to 4 inches. 3 to 4 inches sounds better. I need to measure it across best I can. So I need to bring it down some more. All right, let's see how long it is. Excuse me. I hate there's a crack in this wood. There's a crack in all the cedar, it seems like. Okay, the back of it should be down here. Ooh, there's a pile up here. No wonder I can't find my pencil. There it is. I need to mark the back end of the butt area of the amplified speaker, or whatever you want to call it, amplifier. Okay, that's the butt end. What do you think so far? That's pretty good shape. That wood sure is rough though. Anyway, what I'm going to do is sand it some because it's pretty rough right here and it keeps kind of bouncing. That's beautiful wood. I'm glad I got down to the red area. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous stuff. Woo! That's beautiful. Look at the knots. Oh, that's gorgeous. And who knows, this might want to start splitting some. We don't know. My guess is probably so. So we got to keep an eye on it. So this section here for inch has to be solid. So it bounces, the sound bounces off of the back end of it and comes out. From what I understand, from what I've read. Okay, and I'll be back. And we'll sand this off camera. Okay, I hope y'all can see. I shined it up. I smoothed it up, smoothed it out some with some sandpaper and all. There's some cracks trying to show up just a little bit. This one here, I filled it in for now with some Loctite glue and some wood dust, and this one and this one. Anyway, so I had to ask the questionnaire from the back side of the butt side of this, how far up am I going to make that slit? And it says 1.5 to 2 inches from the back side here up. is where I need to make the slit. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it with a pencil. If I can find it. There it is. Let's measure it. Let's use my tape. This was my mom's sewing tape. Isn't that great? I'm going to put it 2 inches. And the reason why is because 1.5 is going to put it too close to the butt end. Right? That's a beautiful shape. That's a gorgeous shape. The color of that wood is just stunning. I love this red cedar wood. I'm so glad CH or Charles gave it to me. That is just awesome. That's going to be the beginning. And it's not going to go all the way through. It's just going to be a slit on one side of it. That's all it's going to be. And I wonder if the end of the bell is supposed to be flattened on one end so it sits down on the table flat. I don't know that I want to do that, but okay, it does say as that when you come to the edge of the bell to get it as thin as possible, because it will, how would you say, bounce the sound off of there further out in the room. But you don't want it so thin it's going to crack and break. So as I open this up, it might cause it to have cracks. Let's see, I need to find out how wide is the slit supposed to be. Three and a half inches. 3.5 inches. It misunderstood me. It's supposed to be 3.5 inches this way, but I want to know how thick is it supposed to be. Maybe if I ask it like that. I don't know about y'all, but I talk to my AI all the time so that I can find out how to measure stuff and everything. If I have a question about something like supplements or something over the counter. 5/8 to 3/4. 5/8 to 3/4 wide. Okay, so that's it. That's it. The slit. Oh boy. Okay. Let me maintain my composure here. This is 5/8 right here. It's marked on this tape. It's 5/8. 5/8. There. That might be wide enough. What do you think? 5/8. If I'd put it 3/4. So anyway, we're going to do 5/8, and hopefully that'll be wide enough for Ollie's phone, right? It would be wide enough for mine. If mine fits in there, it would be wide enough for mine. Yeah? I want to open it on up, but I'm concerned about stuff, so I might need to go ahead and put a slit in there before I open it up. Let me ask that question. Is it safer and better to put a slit in it first before I open it up, or should I open it up first? hollow it out. Okay, I need to hollow it out next. That's what I need to do. See? Isn't that great? Answered all my questions. Okay. So, I'll be back, okay? Because I'm going to mount this camera on here and I'm going to get this set up. Let's do this. Ooh, that's hot. Woo, that's hot. That's a hot hole right there. That is so hot. Let's see how deep I have this. Let me find something. Okay, that's good. That's pretty close. Alright, that's very good. Now I have to open it up the best I can the rest of the way with the bowl gouge and that other tool, the hollowing tool. Best that I can. I have to leave a certain thickness in the wall back here and I can't remember what it was. Let's see if I can find it. Bell thickness, 1/4 to 3/8. Okay, I don't see it anywhere. 1/4. 1/4 to 3/8 inch. Okay, I think I can use my steady rest on here. I forgot about that. Now we'll leave a little bit of marks on there, but we can sand it up later. Just thought about it. We need something to stabilize it, right? So let's see if we can get this thing on here. Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Only thing I don't like is it's very rough on the edge here. I was thinking on maybe sanding it some before I go down any further. Ooh, the wonderful thing is I got this light going. You know what I did? Dummy me was turning the switch the wrong way. And I thought it didn't work. The light bulb didn't work. So I took it out and I put it in my lamp inside the house. And it turned on. I was like, well, there's nothing wrong with the light bulb. So I brought it back out here and I turned the switch and it still wasn't working. I thought, well, maybe this is just bad, you know. And I thought, well, let me just turn the switch the other way. And when I did, it came on. Oh, gosh. So, anyway, I want to see about sanding this edge some first. I'm glad that I remembered about the steady rest. Now, the only problem with this design is it will come loose. There are better designs out there, but I don't have the money to be buying them. If I did, I would. Let me see something here. I may have measured it wrong. Let's see. Okay, I have to bring it down further, deeper in that hole, because it has to go past where the cell phone sits, and the cell phone has to be down in the hole. And so I didn't think about that. So let me put this back on. I'm so glad I got that bit. You know, I can do some goblets now pretty quickly. Of course, you know, it's nice to do it by hand, you know, with the bowl gouge or something, because I don't know, it takes skills. It takes skill to do things like that. This right here just really quickly puts a hole in something, you're done. I don't know if that's deep enough. That's not quite deep enough. It's going to have to go deeper, believe it or not, just a little bit deeper. The only thing I don't like though is that tip. But that's okay. It's not going to go that much further in there. I think it's 2 inches. It's 2 inches. 2 inches. 2 inches. So it's 2 inches inside. The walls back here in the back might be low enough. I don't have to worry about going all the way back there on the inside to bring it out. I think it's going to be okay on that. So let's see if we can get this thing hollowed out some more. This is pretty cool. This is, when I say simple, it's a simple, I'm not saying it's simple to wood turn it. I'm saying it's a simple design of something. But, I mean, it's not like something fancy. But it's pretty cool. I like it. I need to see how thin this needs to be on the outside edge. I think it might be okay on the inside. Okay, what it says is to do 3/4 to a 3/8 middle, and then it would be 1/8 inch on the end here, flare. I don't know that I know how to get it to the 3/8 because I don't have anything to go by or measure it with. So all I can do is guesstimate. The middle, I'm going to say, is probably about right in this area down to where the phone will be, something like that. That's all I can do. I'm gonna bring it down a little more though. I think I'll go with this. I'll put the phone in there when I make a slot and play it through there with some music or something, see what it sounds like, see if it works or not. That's all I know. It should work some. May not work as the best. I may not have some measurements just right, and it doesn't work to its how would you say, sweet spot. And that's the thing about sanding, when you're sticking your hand into holes and stuff, you have to be very careful, and you don't need it at high speed at all. If your hand hits something wrong, it'll start twisting your hand up in there, and that'll seriously injure you. So you got to be very careful. And the best thing to do when you're sanding, now I'm not a teacher, okay? I'm just saying in case somebody is new at wood turning or something, they don't know any better. The best thing to do is to hold the sandpaper up over here in this direction. You can hold it down here a little bit, some, but I would not hold it over there for sure. Your hand will start twisting up in there, and you'll be in the ER. So do not do that. It's got some stuff in there still, some nick areas. Okay, I really do not know how I want to go about cutting this slot out, this section out, but I'm starting off with this little handsaw. This was my son's. It's probably from metal, but I used it. So I'm just getting started with a section. I drew a line over here. In fact, I need to make it more clear. It is not very clear. I'll draw it. Goes across here. It says 3.5 inches. This is 3.5 inches from here to there. far as I know. Now, this is probably not the ideal tool to use at all. I can't use my table saw that I know of. I might could use my miter saw, but it's got thicker teeth on it. I'm afraid I'll mess this up. So I might have to do the meticulous work of sawing it by hand. And then use the Dremel to get the sides and stuff. That's all I know to do. So good thing is this wood is kind of soft. It's kind of like chalky soft. It's very, very silky smooth. Very smooth. Once you sand it and everything, it is so smooth. It's very nice wood. I love cedar wood. My house is made with cedar wood. I have cedar wood on the facing of the house, and when I had my roof done several years ago, putting new shingles on it, it used to have gutters on the house, and I took them down, and there was pine straw had gotten between the gutter and the facing of my house, and in some of the areas it started to rot the wood, so I had to replace the facing, and it's cedar wood. So I got cedar in the front. I believe I've told y'all that before. So yeah, I got a lot of cedar wood on my house too. Pretty stuff. It's really neat stuff. I like it. Yeah, this will be good to get through to the other end. Then I'll have to see what I can do to try to cut out a nice area going this way. Yeah, this would be cool. This is going to cut on through too. In fact, I think it's already going through after, and that didn't take too terribly long. No, not at all. That's pretty cool. I don't want to go past it, so I need to stop right there. That's pretty cool. That didn't take no time at all neither. I mean, it's a little bit of muscle work, but that's okay. Keep me in shape. Right. Phew. Pretty cool stuff. I think I got it where it's all the way through. That one is. That one is. Those are all the way through. Now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna cut that way. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, I cut the slot out. What I did is I used my tiny drill bit and I started drilling little holes right on the edge here, on each side, on the edge. Then I started going across it and I was able to get that one undone. that side, and then I was doing over here, and then the little bitty bit broke off, and that's okay. But anyway, I was able to go ahead and get it out, and I sanded it up some. I'll work on it a little more later, but anyway, so I got it cleaned up some on the ends. I couldn't find the bit that I wanted to use, but that worked fine. I was able to get that. So now I need to get it shaped down here at the end and cut it off. Then I'll sand it up by hand, and then we will have it ready to put the Gorilla Clear glue on there and have it finished. That's awesome stuff. Alright, I asked a question there about should I round it off, and it's kind of rounded off a little bit, but then kind of straight down. Flat in the back of the butt. The butt. This is beautiful. Alright, where's my bowl? Gouge, there it is. Have not used it that much on this piece. Mostly had to use the roughing gouge. And that other two. Was thinking about, okay, I sanded it up. Now the bottom isn't perfectly 100% sanded. There's a couple little slight, how would you say, divots, not divots so much, but just slight, like, I don't know how you would call it. It's not 100% smooth. There's a couple of areas I might work along with it a little longer. I sanded it, I'm tired of sanding it, and I can't get all the way down in the tube. It's too narrow for my hand to reach all the way down in there at the bottom. I can't do it. I can only go down so far, and so. But I sanded this area very well. It took a long time too, and it looks like there's a slight notch right there. I'm gonna have to sand that. This wood is so soft and supple. It's soft, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of strange. It's kind of an enigma, I reckon you can say. But anyway, now is that a crack or is that a line? Okay, that looks like a line. That doesn't look like a crack. Okay, good. So anyway, I got the notch here, the slit right here to put the cell phone in, as y'all saw yesterday. Okay, I had to ask the question there about, well, how are you able to sit it down so it doesn't roll back and forth, right? Because I don't want to cut up here in the flare part of the bell. I mean, I don't want to mess that up. That's so beautiful. So it said that I need to cut a small notch on the bottom of the butt. So I think I have it centered. Yeah, that's the center point, and I just need to cut a small notch going this way, because that's the bottom where it's going to sit down on the table or wherever you sit it, right? So because this red cedar is so soft, and I was able to use my handsaw with the, making the slit and everything where the cell phone sits, I'm just going to use it again to cut out this notch, since it gives way pretty easily and quickly. Choop! We'll just cut it right on off. What do you think? And then I'll have to sand that up a little bit. And I mean, it's not 100% perfect, but it looks pretty good. I've seen some of these pictures like on Etsy or something like that. They are not cheap. Now, most people, you know, granted, most people just use Bluetooth speakers and stuff they buy at the store. That's fine. I mean, this is just something of a fun project to do, you know, thinking of Ollie, and she loves music and stuff like that. That's, you know, I just want to have something wood turn that's different and exciting and fun and something to give her. And she can always just, you know, use it for fun sometimes if she wants to. She doesn't have to. So, anyway, we're going to go ahead and cut that notch. It doesn't have to be a big, long notch neither, okay? So, we're going to go ahead and do that. I don't have my camera in the right spot, do I? I'm sorry about that. I apologize. So, anyway, let me get right to it, okay? Make sure I get it right. I want it to be able to sit flat over here so that this is upright perfectly. Best that I can. So, I just wanted to share that with y'all. And in case anybody decides they want a wood turn amplifier speaker, you know, they'll know the steps to take also. So that's what I wanted to do. And this right here, little blade, I think it is for metal, but hey, it works fine with the wood, and it's a fine blade, and it just cuts so well. Cuts so well. Slowly and gently, incrementally. Make sure this is not getting messed up. I might need to put a towel underneath this. Anyway, I'll be back. You know, I was surprised that it cut so well with the other one. Now this is a little bit harder to cut because it's not held down firmly. I'm trying to hold it down with my other hand here. But yeah, this wood is kind of chalky when I'm sanding it. It does very, very chalky. Pretty cool stuff. Get that notch cut in there. We'll be able to set it down on the table, and it won't be rolling around anymore. Reminds me when I used to collect fat wood, and before I got any kind of electric chainsaws or anything, and I would be using a handsaw, and I still use these handsaws now. They're good. They're excellent. I don't know where my other one is. This is a Cobalt right here. The other one is around here somewhere. But I think I prefer this one better. Except when I accidentally hit this and make it fold when I'm in the middle of sawing. Woo! Okay, this is taking a little bit longer than I thought. But it's worth it. It's worth it. Oh yeah, it's more than worth it. Yeah. There's a little bit slight area here that needs to be smoothed off before I can set it down where it's flat. That right there is sticking out a little bit. I have to smooth that area out right there where there's a little piece that didn't cut off properly, so it'll sit level. Okay, let me get these earphones, ear protection off. I found that I used to not care if I wore ear protection or not, but now, I tell you what, as much as I use that sander, it's a good thing that I use it because I don't want to lose my hearing. So, I try to put it on every time. Even with the Dremel, when I'm trying to use the Dremel on stuff, I'll try to use my ear protection. The thing I'm bad about is not using my respirator. I don't use my respirator a lot of times when I should. I reckon I'm thinking that, you know, my shield is enough. Well, it's not enough, but it does, you know, come down on my face, so I'm thinking it will, you know, keep out some of the dust particles and stuff. So, anyway, I got it smoothed out. I'm going to sand it up in a couple areas I saw where it looks like I might have bumped it or something. A little slight scratch here and there. There's something here. I don't know what it is. Let's see what this is. This is 220. It may be when it was sitting down and it pressed on it a little bit. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. I hate that I have to put Loctite glue on there to cover the crack, but I have to. Because it discolors the wood some. But we just got to do what we got to do, right? That's just life. Make it very nice. This is a pretty straightforward project. Just got to make sure you got the measurements best that you can. Because I don't have that tool, like I said before, so I don't know how wide or how thick the walls are down in here. I'd have to have that certain tool to do that, and I don't have it, so I just have to play it by ear. That's still not right. Gee. Okay, I get out here where there's a lot of light, and then I see some flaws and places I didn't get when I sanded it. Gee. A lot of sanding on this thing. It is so nice and smooth. It is so buttery smooth. Woo-wee! Smooth. That is beautiful. If I can't sand it on down. Alright, and I will join back with y'all later when I get it finished. I'm going to put the final finish on it after I've sanded up a little more here and there. And we'll see you when I get it ready. Alright, I hope y'all are still with me, and I hope y'all can join me, and I hope you've been enjoying this video. Okay, I was trying to film this, and every once in a while my GoPro freezes up, and so I found that you have to hold both buttons to reset it and get it to, get it to do right. So anyway, welcome back. I got it finished. This project here took a while only because, well, the main thing was I talked too much again, didn't I? I am so sorry about that. I don't know. I need to cut some of that talking. I'm trying to edit my video right now, and I have to add this to it, and I had to cut out some sections and speed up some sections. I was just way too much. People don't like that. People have short attention spans these days. They want instant gratification really fast, and they're conditioned to just give it to me now, and they skim through stuff. They skim through videos. That's where you have that TikTok, and I don't do TikTok myself. I'm not saying it's not good. I imagine it is. It's just that there's a lot of shorts out there now also with videos and just very short, just quick, instant gratification and go. And I'm not that kind of person, okay? I like to have substance, you know, in my videos. I like to have that, you know, I like to watch long videos if they're good and they have a lot of good information and they tell me stuff, or they're just fun, or the person's enjoyable to listen to, or what have you. But I do have a little bit long, is what I'm saying. So anyway, this ending clip's gonna make it even longer. It's gonna be over an hour. It's gonna be, golly, it's gonna be as long as my other ones were. But I did find when I listened to some of the videos, not because I made them, okay? I'm not saying it to be biased. I'm saying it because I actually enjoyed the video more than I thought, and it did not seem as long as it was. It was, you know, so anyway, regardless, we have this finished, and we made this for Ollie. I'm so glad you're back, Ollie. You're such a huge blessing. Thank you. And I'm so excited to be able to make this for you. Like I said before in the last video, I did not make this because you sent me stuff. I had this thought about making you something before you even sent me anything. So I just wanted to emphasize that and reiterate that point. Make sure you know that I'm not just, you know, you give me something, I'm going to give you something. That's not how I am. I'm the kind of person that I give you freely, whether you give to me or not, okay? I give you, it's the same thing with my heart. I give my heart freely to you, whether you give me yours or not. Or you know, whether you're friendly to me or not, I'm still going to be friendly to you. Now, some people are not easy to get along with, and I just stay away from them. That's their problem. I didn't do anything wrong. They act like maybe I did something wrong to them, but that's their problem. They're just rabid people. I don't know. They got problems. So anyway, I just wanted you to know that. Make sure you understand that, because I don't work that way in my life, okay? Just because you've done something for me, I do something for you. Now, if you sent me something, and then I might want to return a gift to you sometimes, because I want to say thank you to you, that I appreciate you. So I want to go above and beyond my thankfulness to you. So anyway, the color is beautiful. We got the slit right here, and the cell phone should fit in there. We need to try it out. Look at there. Isn't that beautiful? We got it the right size on the end, about 1/8. It might be a little bit less than 1/8, but that's okay. It's doing well, doing just fine. We haven't played any music in there yet. Let's see if I can find something. Let's see. Let's see what I can find. I don't know. I'm just going to play something, okay? It doesn't matter. I listen to a lot of ambient music, but I get tired of it. Sometimes I just want some old rock and roll or something that I grew up with. You know. So, let's see. Old classic rock and roll.
Classic rock and roll.
Oh, classic rock and roll. Sounds like she's snooty or something. Oh, classic rock and roll. We need to change that one. We need to change that AI. Let's see, what's this? 239 videos. Let's gonna get to a good part. I recognize the song now. hear a difference. Taking my time. You'll forget about me after I've been gone. No more, just outside of your front door. I think it's pretty good. Okay, let's stop it. So, anyway, we got the idea. Sorry about that. So, it works. It's not fantastic. And, you know, most people, like I said earlier, use a Bluetooth speaker. I use Bluetooth outside. But it's just something for fun for Ollie to have because she loves music. I thought that would be awesome. Why not? And it did take a while to make because I had to get the measurements correctly. As best that I could. Now, it might not be the exact right measurements on the inside walls here because I didn't have that caliper. It's like these long oval round clamps or something. You stick them way up in things and you can clamp them down and it'll measure how thick things are with wood turning and stuff. They're really awesome things to have. But anyway, it turned out beautiful. The color, the shine on there with the Gorilla Clear Glue. I did ask if it was okay to put Gorilla Clear Glue on there. And it said yes, it'd be fine. So anyway, I hope y'all are doing well out there. I hope you enjoyed the video. And like I said before, I apologize. It is so long and I talked a lot again. So, anyway, it's just whatever you want to do. You don't have to watch the whole video. You can skip through it, whatever you enjoy. Whatever floats your boat. So, that's fine with me. I'm an easy to get along with person, I believe. So, anyway, y'all take care of yourselves. I hope y'all are smiling out there and never give up, right? Never give up. I'm with you. And y'all take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. Easter's coming. Maybe I can figure out something to make. I'll see what I can come up with for Easter. I can always make something, but I'm just trying to figure out what to make for Easter besides an egg. So anyway, Ollie, I will send it to you as soon as I can. I still have dishes, birdhouse over here. And it's all dry. I'm ready to go and send. I'm just waiting for my tax money to come in. I did my taxes late. And it is beautiful. And I also wanted to wait and see if those cracks got a little bit aggravated again and started to act up. So, because if they did, I wanted to be able to fix it before I send it. So, well, I mean, once I send it, that's just going to be it. If the cracks form later on, they will. But anyway, this cedar wood is beautiful stuff. Gorgeous stuff. Wow. And one more thing. When I was wood turning it, trying to rough it out, those knots and everything, it just kept being bouncy. It's hard to work with this cedar wood. It really is. And to turn up the speed, I want to be able to turn up the speed, and I can't. And it's just wanting to wobble and just bounce a little bit here and there. This cedar wood with the knots, it's a lot harder to go past the knots. That roughing gouge, I usually do not use the roughing gouge, but that roughing gouge worked very well compared to the bowl gouge, in fact. And I'm usually using the bowl gouge, but I didn't use it that much this time. So, anyway, y'all take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And I am excited and look forward to seeing what you have to say. I love what you have to say. Anyway, y'all take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful week. And we will see you, And we will see you next time. That's right, smile. I am stoked. This is awesome stuff. Stoked. Woo! Okay. Bye-bye.